emergency pursuit progress. Lincoln County units request local assistance.
Maybe we'll get on one of them video shows, you know, like World's Craziest Police Chases. What do you think? Holy shit.
Good, good, good! Put it down! Put the gun! Wait! No, no. He's hurt! You get that ambulance down here, you tell him there's an officer down, you do it now!
This is real.
Hey, mister, you even know what's going on?
I woke up today in the hospital, and that's all I know.
Things got crazy. Man, you won't believe the panic. The streets weren't fit to be on. I know how they must sound. The dead people, the walkers. Don't you get mad?
My wife and son, they're alive.
They're in Atlanta, I bet.
Why there?
Refugee center. Huge one, they said, before the broadcast stopped. Military protection, food, shelter.
Broadcasting on emergency channel. We'll be approaching Atlanta on Highway 85. Anybody out there? Anybody hears me, please respond.
Listen, one thing. They may not seem like much one at a time, but in a group all riled up and hungry, and you watch your ass.
All I am anymore is a man looking for his wife and son.
How about that? The Rainbow Live. That's our new game from Stern Pinball. If you look at their website, it's a little bit colorful, if you ask me, right? So let's just dive into it. I'm sorry the intro didn't quite come out as powerful as it was supposed to do, but like the Walking Dead Remastered was sort of teased last week, and it was sort of like a darkish kind of, you know, tint to the intro there. It was kind of like the extra ball animation, I think, in the video, right? And it was sort of like some, and now we've learned that it was something that transitioned from the DMD animation, right, into the new machine, right? And I'm a little bit like, I have so much to say about what we're looking at here, right? I mean, at the end of the day, The Walking Dead is like undoubtedly one of the best games Stern has ever made, right? And like, what can they improve, right? Obviously, like, these will sell, like, because the game is what it is, right? But I would have taken a Vault with the same artwork, same everything. Like, put some DMD emulator on Spike 3 and call it a day, right? There was no, like, need to, like, come up with this, like, art palette, whatever, right? And there's just no need for it, right? And there's like details in this we kind of need to kind of go through and look at as well, right? And at the end of the day is I mean, I'm not gonna get any Walking Dead. I don't own an OG. I'm not like interested in Walking Dead as an IP or whatever, right? It's just a great game and it's available everywhere, right? Because they sold loads of them, right? So I don't think there's scarcity to get this game done, right? And I don't know exactly like who's initiative this is kind of on, if this is something that, oh, we need to do a new Walking Dead because everybody's kind of clamoring for one, right? And I don't know. I don't know the market dynamics here, whatever, right? It's a little bit lame that they call it remastered as well. It's just like, I kind of dig the thing that they did with Metallica because, you know, remastered, it's something that you label something that has been remastered in the music industry, right? While we can kind of argue ourselves blue in the face that they've remastered a pinball machine here, but it would be much cooler to kind of like apply some kind of theme to how you resurrected this game, like, and it would be like reanimated, for instance. Like that would be a better kind of subtitle to add to it, right? Like the same thing I hope they will do with Tron, like, and they do a Tron reconfigured or like Tron de-rest, whatever, right? Then it's sort of the same kind of game, but it's kind of stood up in a different kind of shroud, so to speak, right? But let's look at it here. What we got here? Let's see if we can crank up the quality here so a little bit.
Are we gonna kill some walkers or what?
So mixed feelings here, right? It just looks like they have mixed so many different kind of palettes, and like almost looks like different artists have sort of come together here to do different things, right? And the thing is that the zombie sculpts, like the head, and you can also see the walker later on, they kind of like match the theme. It's sort of like looks like a dead corpse, right? And
We want our
like you can see here, and you also have the dead heads in the aquarium back there, whatever it is. I can't remember what they put it in, and then like there are so many things, like just from this perspective, it's just like the barn looks fine, and the walker looks good, right? And these heads they've put here as decoration, sort of like that, they look okay. They kind of fits the theme, right? And then you have the bicycle girl plastic here, right? And that is just like, yeah, let's put a plastic sheet there for that and do it orange and blue. Perfect, right? And the same goes with this kind of plastic they put here. It doesn't quite fit the theme, right? Yeah, I guess the prison tower. Oh, it is not a barn, it's the prison. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
weapons.
Again, that sculpt in there looks great. Like the decal on the spinner fits the head perfect. And then all of a sudden you got like all colors of neon around it.
Seem like you're holding your own?
And they apparently put a coil underneath the well walker so it actually bounces by itself a little bit. What is this? Is this metal piece on the old game as well? Like this metal piece here? Do you ding balls straight in there? That looks really weird. I'm sure you do. I just don't know this game well enough. And then we'll look at it. So this is another kind of detail when I just glanced over it. Yes, like the pop bumper area kind of looks more like the like the retro OG game, right? You have the barbed wire and kind of got the railroad tracks there, and it looks pretty decent, right?
Woodbury. Here at Fish Dance Full of Heads.
That is so funny, right? So you see the heads are kind of green there, right? And then they have this movie clip, and it's just like, obviously it's not green, right? So why not make it true to the original? Here's somewhere I lost a steak dinner, right? Because I thought they were gonna take the crossbow out, right? And the crossbow is actually in the game, and they even added another coil for the well walker. Kudos to Stern for that, because I totally thought that apron was just like, oh, that is just too much non-Italian bottom, and they had to like make a new apron and take out the do the takeout for the insider connected thing, right?
Yes.
Somebody with the jackpot.
Now that there.
So the thing is, like, if you look at the games like this, they kind of look okay, right? And the thing is, I have so many reservations these days for like what the games look like on the actual photos that we can look at the website, and then you kind of put them in an environment where they sort of like where they're supposed to be in a way, right? And it's a completely different game, right? And I don't know why they do it like that. Why do you publish like pictures and media for a game that is just so taken out of context, right? We're not interested what the game looks like under a surgical light, right? I'm sure they've hired like a super fancy photographer that does very well represent what the actual item is, but that's not what we're interested. Like, this looks so much better. It's in a dim, dark environment. We can see the if you look at the just the lights around you see how the LEDs kind of react to the environment they're in, right? And it just looks so much more natural. And these like all new kind of expression lights that they put in the game, right? I mean, and now we kind of like, oh, it lights double-sided, right? It's just I don't understand like what the point is, and this is not like I'm not taking dig at Stern specifically here, but I'm just taking dig at the industry in general, right? Like, is it super hard to kind of just make these like more like so they're not like so distinguished as they are? Like need to have individual lights spaced out like this, and you can see every individual LED, right? Can't you just diffuse them? Is that absolutely impossible, right? Dune is another glowing example that looks absolutely terrible. That the whole kind of playfield is just like, it looks like a salami sandwich when the lights go on there. It's just so prickly, right? And the same goes for some of those pin stadiums. They just turn the games into these like prickly things, and it looks terrible on camera. It looks terrible in person. Like all the wireforms just look like like a polka kind of candy sticks, right? It's just I don't like it at all, and everybody is kind of subject to this. Pinball Brothers, Aliens, LE, right? You have these individual LED lights you can see down the channel, and it's just like, get rid of that. How do I like diffuse them for yeah, I don't know. Do it. So that was the game trailer. I think there's a bunch of assets at the bottom here. Game trailer, features. Okay, so there's a features video here as well. Let's look at that.
Hey everybody, it's George Gomez at Stern Pinball.
AGG.
We're excited to share with you today a technologically advanced version of one of the most beloved pinball games of all time, The Walking Dead.
Again, the game looks so much better. Like in this kind of sweeping shot, you can see that, all right, it's saturated to the maximum, right? Because that's what the camera's going to do, like when you do video like in a dark environment. But at the end of the day, it looks more representable.
One of the most popular entertainment franchises in the world, AMC's The Walking Dead.
And now we're back to kind of studio lighting, and there is like a super bright light that hangs overhead here to kind of capture this like super bright playfield. And this is not what it's going to look like while you're playing at all.
Has captivated global audiences since its television premiere in 2010.
So I don't know what the one-sided like kind of palette is about the side art on these games, right? You have the orange to blue sweep like on all different kind of editions, and I don't quite understand the point of it.
The hit TV series, spin-off shows, video games, merchandise, and more have reshaped the modern landscape of horror storytelling. Powered by
horror storytelling. Yeah, okay. All right, we got some headlines here. Next generation technology, new Spike 3 platform. Yeah, we knew that much, right? And somehow it looks like these lights have moved kind of tighter up to the actual glass there. I think that is probably an improvement.
Stern's new Spike 3 technology platform, we're bringing back to life The Walking Dead for a new generation of pinball players.
Yeah, I mean, that is just hilarious. New generation of pinball players. This is how old this game is. I remember, I went to the launch party. I have a translite that I won at the launch party. And that's like, I'm dating myself now, but I mean, that's just like, it's incredible how much time has passed since, right? It's over 10 years old, right? And I understand that you can't like kind of resurrect like what was it built on, like Sam or whatever, right? But it just would be so cool if they would have just used the original artwork and kind of just spiced that up a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know.
Players will experience an epic journey through the legendary moments from the series.
And here's an interesting thing that I noticed on the pictures that leaked this morning, right? These black dots here, right? So somehow they don't dig making star rollovers anymore. So they kind of put in these like little buttons. You can see it even more clear here. And this is the first time I've seen them kind of do something like this, right? So this will be interesting because this is basically a new kind of ball thing that the ball interacts with, right? How reliable are these? And like all those good things, right? Hey, how are you doing in chat there?
As they fight to survive the apocalypse.
Yeah, so this is the animation that was in the teaser trailer.
Attention to detail have gone into every facet of The Walking Dead Remastered, honoring the original.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, this palette is just like, why is it going from like yellow, orange to green there, and then to blue, and like it's the whole kind of RGB spectrum in just around the backboard and the side art there.
Masterpiece by John Borg and Lyman F. Sheets Jr. The game includes an updated version of the revolutionary rule set that introduced a new mode structure and.
So there are certain like graphic elements on the playfield that are like super good, and some are like just horrible. And yeah, let's look at the pictures later, but yeah.
Risk-reward elements that have stood the test of time. The Spike 3 technology platform includes a larger 18.5-inch full HD.
I think this overlay looks very promising. I don't like that they got red scores on a dark gray background, but that they will have to fix that. But I kind of dig this that they've used the kind of DMD ratio. What is that, like 4:1, and then have sort of like actually having an interface, right, that looks somewhat compelling, right, versus what they did in Star Wars. That was pretty terrible.
Display with true color depth, along with a more powerful processor and a new high-fidelity immersive audio system. Players will experience completely over.
Yeah, I don't know how much of an improvement this graphic is here, but it's, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not a Hollywood production. We know that. But I'm sort of like, yeah, the first one, it's fine.
Called 3D rendered graphics and custom animations that pay homage to the dot matrix display from the original game. Spike 3 electronics features more efficient power handling, improved Wi-Fi support, and wireless headphone capabilities. This release will introduce a new modular cabinet lighting system designed to allow for internal and external expression lighting on all versions of the game. And now, I'll hand it over to legendary game designer John Borg to give you an up-close look at the...
Look at this. Now they turn the lights on things here, and it looks so much better all of a sudden, right? So I don't know why they showcase the game the way they do. It's just like you don't see it in the proper context, right? It's just... They're doing themselves a pretty big disservice.
Modern interpretation of the original...
Because now all of a sudden you can see, oh, this kind of red ramp here kind of goes into this red tower in the back, and all of a sudden that makes sense, right? It just, yeah, I don't get it why they have those like all washed out, super bright photos.
Masterpiece.
And now you can see the insert colors, how that goes. I mean, it looks great from this perspective, right? I mean, I'm not complaining. It's a little bit too much color, right? I do want to emphasize that, but this looks so much better than the super bright light display that they've shown so far. Yeah, so this was in this dark room without an overhead light, right? It's just so much better. All right, we're back in sunlight again.
I'm John Borg, lead game designer
John.
of The Walking Dead Remastered. Immerse yourself in a completely redesigned universe of The Walking Dead with all new upgrades, visuals, sounds, and mechanical enhancements. The game features custom audio callouts from Merle and Michonne.
You gonna help me kill these things or what?
No one who comes here leaves.
While remastering The Walking Dead, we decided that we wanted to make the well zombie move with the solenoid instead of just it moving when you strike it with the ball. We added lit zombie heads to the slingshots and additional RGB lighting to several of the inserts on the playfield.
You're not getting up after that shot.
Catfish dance full of heads.
We updated the functionality of the crossbow with an encoder.
So one thing that I wonder here, but when I've been looking at these videos here, is that the crossbow, isn't it black, like all painted black on the premium and LE OG? Because this is sort of like raw metallic, right? This polished metallic.
Shoot the crossbow!
I need you strong.
Handsome devil, ain't it?
We also updated and redesigned the rollover playfield buttons.
So you got an echo somewhere? Is there an echo? Oh shit. Yeah, the browser is probably echoing. Oh shit. Nobody says anything.
Oh, ain't that special?
We have updated the art package with hand-drawn artwork by fantasy and horror illustrator Robert Lasky.
Yeah?
The LE features illustrated side armor with laser-cut bullets.
We want our weapons.
Yeah, that didn't make things better, did it?
All right, you're gonna have to kill 5 at a time to get through this. We having fun yet?
Fight the dead, fear the living. The Walking Dead Remastered, available at sternpinball.com.
Your skills, a whole new beginning.
All right, there we have it. There's the trailers. At the end of the day, we have a very colorful version of this game. Let's look to the pictures. The thing is that you can't really go wrong with either of them, I guess. The premium is fine. The LE looks fine as well. I'm not quite sure if I'm a big fan of this expression lighting stuff at all. And the same with the speakers. I've never understood like the need for having like speaker lights, right? It was kind of cool what they did on John Wick, where they kind of integrated like the gunshots and kind of flashing the speaker lights. But I've never ever been a speaker light guy, and like I don't understand the fascination with it, right? It's just. It's a speaker and there's a display and there's a backglass or translight. That's fine, right? So wireless audio in a previous game, yeah, there's supposed to be Bluetooth audio on Star Wars, right? Yeah, I don't know if it's implemented yet or whatever, right? Bluetooth audio from anything is just very unreliable, and it's going to be very messy and probably never work for anyone. So it is a Spike 3 thing, yeah. You can probably buy one of those boards from Pin Sound and get Bluetooth audio if you really want to, but yeah. And at the end of the day, I kind of hope that they don't, like say that they bring like Bluetooth audio into a tournament, right? And all the 4 players are gonna stand there and fiddle with their Bluetooth while they're kind of teeing up their game, right? And it's just that is just gonna be a point of contention, right? For the homeowner, whatever. That, yeah, I don't see the fascination in having Bluetooth audio at all, or like whatever. It's never really worked, and I don't know who's asking for it, so to speak. Right. Okay, so let's bring up some Playfield details here. Yeah, let's look at this. So the original crossbow is the same color. Yeah, I somehow thought that was just painted black-ish. But that's probably just because it's usually hidden in the apron, right? So, and it's black there. So the Well Walker kind of looks better. Like, I didn't like the kind of pink flesh thing, so this mirror looks like a rotten corpse, and it kind of gets my approval on that. Yeah, the new sculpts, the head sculpt is sort of like, they look good, but it just doesn't make or break the game, so to speak. Oh, I hate this image browser. Let's see here. So this kind of, like this view here, like that's what I'm talking about. The pop bumpers and the trails here. That just looked like the regular kind of OG, right? Besides the button here. Oh, look at that. There's actually a little coloring around it. That's pretty neat. Yeah, because on the original you kind of needed skill shot. It's a roving shot, right? So that makes sense. So this is a very strange design element. So why is the browser not like that one? Yeah. And now, yeah, now I get that one. That is perfect. Here we go. So here's a very strange kind of element. Like, I don't understand these arrows, right? Like, did somebody like load up the playfield in Word and did kind of cut in like a green and a white and a blue kind of straw to make this arrow? Because you know it just looks like there's like 50 different artists that work here, right? First you have like the kind of photographic kind of illustrations of the actors. They look great. Like the inserts, the CDC, Arena, they look great. Well Walker looks great, right? And then you just have these kind of word clip art things slapped on a playfield. The same as the arrowhead that goes into the insert there. It's the same thing, right? Yeah, I don't know what... I didn't get too much into the Metallica stuff when that was released. I'm not into that game, so... I don't know what is kind of revised here. I mean, is the playfield shorter, whatnot? Like, I don't know. New apron... The Woodbury sign looks good, kind of fits the theme. And another kind of element in the playfield that it's kind of looks a little bit strange, right? It's just the outline of the certain lettering, right? So you have the siege here, which has like white filling, black outline, and you have like a yellow kind of splat, right? And then there's no other kind of element besides some of some of the inserts have that kind of coloring scheme, and some don't have that kind of color scheme, and it just looks a little bit. It looks a little bit distorted, right? In if you kind of put them next to each other, like this, because the supply inserts here and bloodbath inserts are just completely different. The targets are fine and kind of like the yellow dots, whatever. But they did kind of like the siege and the prison. It's one style, and then the other ones. I don't know how many styles. There were 4 or 5 styles of outlines for the inserts, right? I just don't quite. I don't dig it. If you know what I'm saying. All right, so it's just some cab art here. Okay, so here's the actual playfield from the top here. Oh, it's not a super high resolution. Different art style on Don't Open, Dead Inside. It's just kind of like just plain black and red. Doesn't go with the palette that is kind of overlaying. Yeah, I just feel like an art critic at this game because I mean I can't critique the game, right? Because it's the one of the world's best games ever made, right? So we already know that. But what I do want to comment on is that why on earth did they do premium and limited edition? Why didn't they do a pro, right? Because the pro is sort of like the more the quick shooter that doesn't have like this weird pop-up ramp here, and what else? The crossbow is not really that fun, right? And they could have made a more affordable version, right? But I guess that's not going to happen with these kind of remastered games. They're just going to do the full kind of premium LE kind of experience, right? But at the end of the day, like if you're an OG owner today, I wouldn't be too kind of sad about it. There wouldn't be any. There's no need to kind of do an upgrade. So I hope that this kind of this reaches the audience that they're trying to get, like get the new generation of players that can throw 13 grand on a pinball machine, and kind of and why they wouldn't buy the OG, I don't know, but. Yeah, like here you can see it's not like super high resolution, you know, but you can kind of see you have the yellow, black, white inserts here for the weapons, the last man standing, and the walker count here, and horde, and then you have these inserts here. They're just their own thing, and the mode shots are also like its own kind of outline scheme, and bloodbath is just like, what is bloodbath connected to these 3 here, or is that a thing on its own? You know, it just doesn't make much sense, right? Yeah, I don't know, like why you would. I mean, you got a pro and it still plays and still got some gas in the tank, right? So why would you? I know it has some duct tape here and there, but there's no reason to buy a new game for that, right? Yeah, art critic. That's all I am today. So, but at the end of the day, OG owners shouldn't be sad about this. I don't think their game's gonna lose any value. It will be interesting to see this side armored stuff that they did. Like Star Wars was the same thing. Oh, let's just do a little cutout there with a little cute thing in it, and it's just like why? It looks so lame. Yeah, OG owners games kind of. I wouldn't say it would like go up, but I mean, because now the market will be flooded by these, right? And another fun thing about like flooding, speaking of flooding, right? It says here in the text somewhere. I don't know if I'm looking at the limited edition now. They're only making 500. Yeah, limited to 500 games globally, right? So that means that the distributors are running out of storage space, right? Because, you know, how many Star Wars did they make? Like 770, right? They won't sell. So obviously they had to like pull this number down, even though this is a much better game. And these will sell out, right? No problem, right? And I guess they will be making the premium until everybody who wants a game got a game. This kind of looks like they've redone some stuff here around it. I don't know this mech like, but this looks far more robust than the original one on. Does it have all these blue rubbers all over the place? I don't know. That zombie got a little bib there. That's cute. The bullet light animation on the outside the rails backward. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I just like, yeah. What should we have in the cutout on the rail? Yeah, that put like, let's put a bullet, right? Or a, and not put a bullet. Let's just stamp out a bunch of bullets. That's basically what they've done. It's not designed right. Like, I mean, if you look at Mando, for instance, right? They had like an idea, you know, where they had his kind of rifle along the whole thing, right? That kind of like that made sense, and it was you know, Mandalorian kind of emblems and stuff like that, and that kind of fits the theme and fits the franchise, fits the IP, right? Well, this is just like, oh shit, we need to we need to demonstrate that we can make side armor with the holes and lights both ways, right? And yeah, let's punch out a bunch of bullets there, and don't even try to kind of make it line up with like the metal itself. Is sort of like, yeah, let me see if we can pull up a cab here and I can show you what I'm saying, because I'm totally with you there, right? You see here, like there's no symmetry in like. You see the triangle wedge goes right here, and in my mind you would kind of start the first bullet here, not like inside the triangle, and make it all kind of weird and asymmetrical, and then have this kind of zombie cut out by the button there. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I mean. Yeah, I should probably start my own pinball company with all the bullshit I'm throwing out here, but it's just like, it could have been so much better. Since I really like the doing the swords on John Wick, right? Why couldn't they just like kind of resurrected some of that and like have Sean's samurai sword or something like that? That would have been actually fitting, right? For the franchise. But I mean, at the end of the day, the bullets don't even like look like, they don't even look like symmetrical. They just look like little, I don't know, little, yeah, they fucking look like dicks if you ask me, to be honest. But yeah. Oh Lord, it's a lazy gun. Yeah, the animation, I saw that in the video as well, but I mean, that was probably just a demo, right? But, you know, they can do a lot of stuff with that, and if it's RGB, you can kind of do a bunch of cool things, but I guess they're just using this to kind of have the game stand out next to a Jersey Jack game or something that has kind of like, have LEDs on every conceivable kind of angle you see the game, right? Which is obviously a choice. I do like the trim though. I think this ride is really cool. It kind of give me the vibe of, you know, the Star Trek Vengeance premium that they had. Remember that when we got powder coated premiums for less than $7 grand? Those were the times. Yeah, these expression lights, I'm not down with it. I am not down with it at all. We can see there's a mirrored back glass. We got the Borg signature. Yeah, this plastic sheet here, I don't understand why. Somebody's going to come up with something better to bolt on that there for sure. And this is the weapon shot, crossbow shot. Yeah, okay. Makes sense. Yeah, I guess this is as much as we can see here. The thing is, I've kind of been trying to look for them, but there's another kind of concern I have about this game, especially since it's a board game like Metallica, is the RGB lighting, or what is it? It's red, blue, and white, right? So the thing that they've done on Eismin and Metallica and Star Wars, they don't have RGB GI. Instead, they have red GI, blue GI, and white GI that sits underneath the sits underneath like plastics and slingshots and stuff like that to kind of like give a certain type of effect, right? And at the end of the day, I just think it looks pretty terrible. Instead of like, why not just go all in? Here you have Spike 3 now, much powerful processor, whatnot, right? And you just put in RGB bulbs, right? We're paying good money for these things, right? And what's the holdup, right? Yeah, it's somehow like, yeah, you can see, yeah, that's a red, or is it an RGB? I don't know. They said that they had RGB inserts in the video, but I can't really see any of the other lights. That kind of looks like a white and a red. Yeah, so. Yeah, I can't find any. I can't find any GI bulbs. They're kind of well hidden. Yeah, this is a dark game to kind of off the bat, right? So I guess having the expression lights would kind of help to kind of get some light on the playfield. Because having color GIs like blue and red, that won't light up anything. It will just kind of wash out plastics and such, right? Yeah, it's very difficult to see. We won't quite know until there's actually a game that we can play in an arcade environment, right? But we could kind of see on the, was it on the gameplay video? But there was some other fun things that somebody called out here. Almost that, not the flyer. It was in the Matrix. They had done like a copy paste on certain things here, right? Oh, they fixed it. Yeah, the first feature Matrix had like Star Wars verbiage in some of the kind of generic game features here, like the expression lightning had Star Wars themed. Lights or something like that, but yeah, there's not much to compare, just artwork and whatnot. It's pretty evident in the pictures what the LE has, right? So get okay, so you get the shaker. You don't get a shaker in the premium. You get the HD glass, upgraded speaker, expression lights, cab lights, back glass, certificate, yeah, limited to 500, yeah. All right, so they fixed the typo, but that was funny. I don't know who posted that, but it was fun to see. Yeah, let's see. You can see some gameplay here. Yeah, if we look at the GI, this is bright overhead lights, but still. Yeah, the bullet animations, they go backwards all the time. That's really strange. I'm sure they'll fix that. All right, here we see a lot of lights, and you see it. It's mainly red. It is mainly red. So I wonder if it's just like red GI period. It kind of looks like it. I don't think that's a good choice. Yeah, we'll see when it shows up here somewhere. I don't know who's getting one of these around here. I'm definitely not getting one, and every respectable arcade around here have a Walking Dead already, so this will be some pinball show at some random place at some point. All right, thanks for hanging out. I'm going to put this on YouTube and shoot it off in the comments. I might switch career and become a art critic instead. But cheers to Stern for taking this on, and hopefully we'll see more remastered games or renewable games. It's I'm sort of like, we didn't get a Tron remake, right? Because Tron came before The Walking Dead, and that just speaks to me that Stern is making something else with Tron. There's gonna be a Tron Ares. That's what I'm hoping, right? With George Gomez behind the wheel and just flooring it, do something similar to, you know, what he did with his Batman 66, which is basically unrecognizable from the original Batman, right? And does a Tron Ares and just, you know, take it to town, basically. All right, that's all for me. Cheers.